On this week's show, I got a really special treat for you, Hydrofit Equine. That means swimming your horse for condition and therapy. Hey, this is a show you won't want to miss and something you might want to try with your horse. That's coming up right now on this edition of Ride Smart.
That's all today on Ride Smart with Craig Cameron, American Horsemanship.
If you're ready to take the next step in your horses and horsemanship and want to get exclusive access and personal attention from everybody here at the Double Horn Ranch, you need to check out RideSmartClub.com. Hey, you're going to receive all kinds of benefits and discounts to Craig Cameron clinics and Craig Cameron products. Hey, this is new. Get in on the ground floor, and if you want more information, again, go to RideSmartClub.com, and I'll see you guys on the trail.
Welcome back to Ride Smart with Craig Cameron.
I'm sitting here with Reese May, the owner of Hydrofit Equine, and hydro means just aqua, or really boils down to just swimming your horse to really get him in good condition, or a therapy on an injured horse. It could be a lot of things, but just get these horses better fit with no stress on their joints or anything.
Yes, sir. That's really what it's all about. We get a lot of horses here for conditioning. We get a lot for rehab, soft tissue injuries, anything like that. It's very low stress on their joints, and it really will get a horse fit extremely fast.
Well, I tell you what, we're sitting right in front of the swimming pool itself. Now, I've seen this done like in magazines, and I've seen it done on TV. I've never really, to be honest with you, seen it done in person, but I've always thought that this had to be really good for your horses. I mean, these horses, by nature, do they know how to swim, or do they really kind of got to learn how to swim?
Some horses are much better swimmers than others, but we've certainly never had one just go in there and not move their feet. Some horses we got to help out a little bit, kind of pull them a little bit, help them kind of get in the groove of it, but most horses are naturally very good swimmers.
Like in the beginning, these horses are like, just like, to me, like when I'm going across the ranch and I'm introducing these horses to water, their instinct is to, a lot of times, to go around it. So sometimes these horses, in the beginning, are they going to be reluctant to go in the water?
Yes, sir. Well, it's challenging because they just their depth perception is a little different than ours, so it kind of looks like they're going into a black hole there. So we just have a few different things we do. Each horse is different, and we treat them all differently. And some horses will have to blindfold and kind of take out the depth perception part of it, and then pull the blindfold off once they're in. Once they do it a few times, most horses really enjoy it and start just walking right in. They'll practically drag us in the pool once they get the hang of it.
Yeah, that's neat. It's kind of like a kid going swimming the first time. They're scared, they're unsure, and I like what you said a lot. You're working with each horse individually, and depending on what that horse is doing, you're adjusting to fit that horse to get him to where they understand it's not going to hurt them. And then once they get in there, like say the first time, do you have a hold of them, or what is it you're doing?
Yes, sir. There's two people doing it. You have two ropes on their head, so one long rope is across the pool. One rope is short and walking around the edge with the horse. And so you're kind of guiding them, helping them stay where they need to be, and giving them a little pull if they need it. But really, they do most of the swimming themselves. We're just kind of showing them where to go, so they're not moving into any walls or anything like that.
You mentioned earlier about on some of the horses, depending on the horse, you actually blindfold these horses. Now, when you blindfold them, are they at the edge of the pool, or where are they? What do you use as a blindfold? And do you just let them step in the water? Or do you ask them to swim, or you let them just kind of get used to that? How does that work?
For horses that need that, we go ahead and we have a little area that's got nice flooring and a nice sectioned off area before the pool, before the ramp. And we'll go ahead and put a towel over their eyes and tuck it into their halter, just because it's very easy to remove. and we'll get them kind of walking around, trusting us a little bit. And if they're doing pretty well with that, then we'll go ahead and get them spinning a circle or two and walk them into the pool. And I mean, most horses just walk right in like it's nothing. Pull the blindfold off, do that a couple times, and pretty much any horse will go in the pool. But a lot will go in without it. It's just a matter of pressure and release.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the same great horsemanship. I always say, stay consistent. You know, whether you're introducing to the pool or anything, I like that. You know, sometimes in extreme racing, we'll actually have them blindfold the horse and lead them, just showing that trust, you know. So I like what you're doing there. Now, the first time you go into the pool, you just let them, sometimes you just let them stand there and get used to it, or do you just immediately start swimming, or does that depend on the horse?
That depends on the horse. Most of the time, the first-time swimmers, they're going to go and hit that water and go pretty quickly down the alley and into the pool. Some can, you know, make a big splash and jump in. But if they want to hang out there for a little bit, we're more than happy to let them do that if they want to get used to the alley and play in the water a little bit.
I like that. Just let them stand there, kind of get used to it. You know, to me, like just even introducing a horse like to a water hose. In the beginning, it could scare them. There's a technique to do it. There are different ways to do it. But in the end, a lot of those horses, where on a hot day, by the time you break out their hose, well, they like it. So so these horses get to where they finally really do like it.
They do, and it doesn't take long. It's you know, it's not like we're asking them to get in a hot trailer or go work for an hour in the sun. Yeah. It's a 30-minute little 30-second swim first time. So.
And so the first time that they do swim, now a lot of these horses have never done that. They're using their muscles kind of in a different way, but they're certainly using them. Like the first swim is usually pretty short because they're going to get tired in a hurry. Yes, absolutely. Swimming is pretty closely related to galloping as far as what they're doing, heart rate, breathing, and it's their first time. They're nervous, and that plays a big part in it. So they only go 1 to 2 laps, sometimes 3 the first time. It just depends. That's it. Yes, sir. And they are gassed. I mean, it's a big workout. Man, that's so interesting. You know, I'm really excited to get going on this. And, you know, I'm sitting here talking with Reese May at, again, Hydrofit Equine. We're going to swim some horses. Stay tuned. That's coming up on this edition of Ride Smart.
Craig Cameron invites you to come ride with him in Texas, the very best horsemanship clinic of them all.
If you're looking to come to a great clinic, why not come to the best clinic there is? The ridingest clinic, the most fun clinic, and the most authentic, and that's the Craig Cameron Clinic at Bluffdale, Texas. Go to CraigCameron.com and book the ridingest clinic of them all, and we'll see you in Bluffdale, Texas.
Welcome back to Ride Smart with Craig Cameron.
Well, such interesting stuff. Reese May, owner of Hydrofit Equine, and talking about using swimming the horses for fitness. You know, we were talking about the first time these horses really are exhausted after just 1 or 2 laps, but as these horses get more fit, and I know it depends on the horse, but like how many laps will they do, and how long does it take to get one fit in the swimming pool? Sure. Usually a horse at about 2 weeks, your average horse is going to be up to 7 to 8 laps, and there's a strong current in this pool, so they go with the current their first few times, and then we start alternating it to where they're going against the current, and that's harder for them, and it gives them a little bit more resistance there. So you're swimming both directions? Yes, sir. Well, it's in a circle, so you don't want to develop them on one side more than the other. Yeah, just like in the round pen or racetrack or anything else. That's right. Don't want to just be on one lead. Well, you know, a lot of people are really finding this beneficial, and I mean, you got some of the best equine athletes in the world, and cowboys and cowgirls, and so bringing their horses here because it just gets them so fit. What are some of the horses that you're working here, like some of the disciplines that are using the hydrotherapy here? We get a lot of barrel racers. This is a really quick way to give a horse a lot more air, and it's related pretty closely to sprinting, so you're going to get more flexion, which boils down to more speed. And so most what we get is barrel racers, but we also get a lot of reined cow horses, futurity horses, cutting horses, and people that just want their horses fit, or if you're coming off an injury and don't want to get back on them and risk them getting hurt because they're not fit everywhere else. A lot of folks send them here for that.
and typically they'll send them for 2 weeks to a month is a really good time frame there.
So 2 weeks to a month. Like if a guy will say, we're going to go out of town, like sometimes I fly somewhere. I don't always take my horses, and if somebody was going to be gone, they could leave that horse here with you, say for 2 weeks. This horse would be able to stay fit and just stay strong by using the hydrotherapy.
Yes, sir. You can drop them off. We take care of boarding and everything like that, and that's mostly what we do. We do take haul-ins as well, but most of our horses are boarded here with us.
Wow, yeah.
A lot of them are when they go out of town or are prepping for a big event. And, in 2 weeks, your horse will typically be up to about 8 laps. In a month, they're typically around 12 to 14.
Man, yeah. And now, like when you have a horse here, how many times a day will you swim him?
We only swim them once a day, but it's 6 days a week, and that's really all you want to do. I mean, by Saturday rolling around, these horses are tired.
Really?
And so they need that day off. And we also really use the Eurosizer, which is a free walker. And
like a panel walker back there?
Yes, sir.
And so you do that now were you, like the horses were going to swim, I noticed the first thing you did was put them on the walker. Is that just to get them warmed up and sort of get them ready?
Yes, sir, it sure is. And the horses that are boarded here, we kick them up and start trotting them a lot more. And so they'll get up to where they're trotting for 20 minutes, coming out, swimming, and then going back on the walker to walk out for another 30 minutes.
Oh man, that's phenomenal right there. So again, just you don't have to necessarily just have a world-class rope horse or cutting horse. It could be just a good trail horse. You were wanted to get fit, or you were taking him to the mountains or something like this. This hydrotherapy really get them. It really bulks them up. I mean, you see a physical change in these horses after they've been swimming here for a month.
Yes, sir, absolutely. I mean, there's a big change in just 7 days, really. And we take before and after photos, and they're all over our Facebook and website. And it's a pretty dramatic change there through the top line, all the muscles. It really bulks them up.
Well, yeah, I tell you what. So again, they're using muscles like like that rhythm they do when they swim. I mean, they're really stretching out, and that's why you see that they start getting that definition like a guy going to the gym. But one of the best things about this, to me, these horses' feet are not touching the ground, so there's no real stress on their joints or anything. Like they're not pounding or hitting the ground.
Yes, sir. We get a lot of older, pro horses that they want to still compete on them. They can still compete at the top level, but they don't want to just pound on them to get them in shape for that.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They'll leave them here for a couple weeks, pick them up, and head down the road.
All my life, I've always worked out, tried to stay fit, and that's how I come back from injuries. But one of the things I guess I've heard all my life, and I'm sure y'all have as well, is that swimming is one of the best ways because there's so much less stress on your joints right there.
Yes, sir. That's absolutely right.
Well, I tell you what, this is so exciting to watch, to see. You can see the benefits almost immediately. And again, when we come back, we're going to keep talking more about this hydrotherapy, again, with Reese May. You won't want to miss it, coming up right now on Ride Smart.
We'll be back with more on Ride Smart with Craig Cameron.
If you're looking for anything Western, look no further than the Double Horn Store. Hey, it's the equipment that we've designed, developed, and tested right here at the ranch for the last 30 years. We've got saddles, saddle pads, hackamores, bits, bridles, head stalls, you name it, we've got it all. Caps, t-shirts, best halters and leads, Craig Cameron flags and sticks. Visit us online at craigcameronstore.com or come visit us here in Bluffdale, Texas.
Welcome back to Ride Smart with Craig Cameron.
Lots of the horses that you get here for the hydrotherapy have had injuries or surgery, and this is rehabilitating for them.
Yes, sir. We do get a lot of injuries that are lower down, stuff that can't have impact. And, say they've got something coming up they need the horse ready for. We swim them. A lot of soft tissue injuries, suspensories, things like that, surgeries, OCDs and hocks. Even horses, after they'll get them injected, a lot of times they'll send them to us to get them in shape and get a little movement back in there before they start hitting the hard ground again.
Now this has got to be good for an older horse here.
Yes, sir. We swim a lot of older horses, kind of like what I was talking about a little bit earlier, that, you know, horses that already know their job and they just need to get fit.
Yeah,
and,
now one question here. What about a young horse, say a yearling or something like that?
We have swam yearlings, and I actually I think it's a great idea to swim yearlings coming 2-year-olds before you start them. Build up their back muscles and their core and everything like that, and it just, you know, helps them stay sound for longer, especially if you plan on competing on them in those upcoming years there. Absolutely. It's always good to expose your horses to any kind of cross training you can. I'm sure you do a lot of that with the cowboy racing, and you know, for young horses that are kind of have issues being claustrophobic, even horses that have issues trailer loading, this stuff kind of relates to that in a way.
I can see that so much. You know, I'm always, again, trying to create that brave horse, exposing him to something different without overexposing. This has got to be good for him. You know, talking about good for him, you know, and I don't know if you can mention names, but I know you get a lot of some of the top equine people bringing their horses here, people that are, you know, making their mark. Well, they're using this hydrotherapy.
Yes, sir, we sure do. And I might not be at the liberty to say their names, but we've got a lot of the top futurity barrel horses here. We've got a stallion that was just here this morning that's one of the top in the snaffle bit futurity coming up. There's a lot of really good girls and guys that come use their horses.
I'll tell you what. Well, I'll tell you what. That's why I'm here. I've got a few horses here. Let's go check some of ours out and see if we can get them to go swimming.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right. All right. So what's the next step?
We're going to go ahead and bring him up here, and we'll wash him off and pick his feet. Make sure he's all clean and ready to go, so he doesn't get the pool too dirty. We'll also be putting him in a different halter that we use for swimming.
Right.
Boy.
Cleaning him up before he goes in the pool.
And are there any issues we need to know about this guy? Tying up, bleeding, anything like that?
No.
Good.
I'm just be glad to get him in there. Have you ever had one that you couldn't get in?
We've had a couple stallions that we had trouble getting them in the second time.
Really?
We can usually get a horse in the first time. A lot of time they don't know what they're doing.
That's really interesting.
But almost all horses after 2 swims or so are just walking right in.
They're good. Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's kind of therapeutic for them, and they enjoy it.
Well, they got to get him ready to go in now. You want to get some of this now. They don't know. He doesn't know if you'll have to blindfold him or anything yet.
You can go ahead and give him just a little pressure back there and see if he'll step in. Good boy.
Oh man, that is something. Golly, that's something. Well, they breathe, don't they?
They do.
Wow.
Keep going.
Well, these guys are communicating with each other, talking about that horse. Boy, he's working, Grace. Man, I like this. I really like it.
One more, Carson.
And Reese is saying one more time, they're talking with each other about how this horse is doing. And man, I tell you what, this horse never been in that long of a swim, and this is really interesting. I can see him really, really working. Now, they're preparing to exit right here. Boy, they bring that little bridge right on out. Woo, yeah, that's something. Man, boy, I tell you what, Reese, that was interesting. You know, I always say I like that sound when they're loping, and
yeah,
and I mean, he was. I'm looking at him. I'll tell you what,
Go ahead and come out.
he used some oxygen then, didn't he?
Yes, sir. He sure did.
Wow. Incredible. Incredible. I'll tell you what, this horse is always just a little spooky, and I'm telling you, I think that is just the ticket.
He was excellent about that. I mean, that's pretty rare for them to go 3 laps, but he was real calm about it, very well-minded.
Really, so that was a rarity, yeah.
That was on the upper side of it, definitely.
Yeah. You know, and he just looks really relaxed to me.
Yeah. For how hard of a workout it is, they stay pretty calm about it.
Golly, that's something now. Yeah, that water's cool, isn't it? Man, I'm tickled pink. I'm sold on this deal.
And it is a chlorinated pool, so we do wash them off with a special solution afterwards. This keeps their hair from drying out. It has a balanced pH and a lot of coat conditioners in it.
Ah, okay.
And so they'll actually come back with a much shinier and nicer coat than when they started.
Boy, you got it all going on, I think. You know, I've never seen this done just up close and personal like this, but I got to tell you, after watching this, seeing how they did it, seeing how my horse worked, how he came out, I'm sold. I am sold on this Hydrofit therapy right here. And these guys, Hydrofit Equine, these guys are classy, first-class facility. And if you're interested in it, go to Hydrofit Equine. And Reese May is the owner here, Hydrofit Equine. Check it out. And they are near Stephenville, Texas, right out of Morgan Mill. Hey, this is incredible. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week on Ride Smart. This week's tack tip, Craig Cameron saddle pad. Hey, if you're looking for the best pad on the market, one that really gives you a great ride, keeps you and your horse comfortable, you won't find a better pad than this Craig Cameron pad. Hey, they're all 100% wool, all hand woven, wear leathers all the way down the side, and don't forget on the inside, all wool felt inlays that really give you that comfort ride for you and your horse. Hey, on the bottom here, we got our new spring and summer colors. Up at the top, the more traditional ones. And some of the pads that I'm riding that are these Craig Cameron pads are 4, 5, 6 years old, and they're as good as the day that I broke them out. Hey, if you want a great pad, go to craigcameron.com, and if you're ordering the next day, go to craigcameron.com, promo code PAD, P-A-D, and we'll give you a 10% discount. Hey, that's your tack tip for today, and we'll see you later in the show. You know, one of the most important pieces of equipment that you use on an everyday basis is your halter and lead. Don't underestimate the importance of a great halter and lead line. I feel I have the most functional, well-balanced, and best halter and lead in the business today. Hey, if you want a great halter and lead, go to CraigCameronStore.com and put in promo code HALTER and receive a 10% discount. Hey, I'll see you on the trail.
Don't miss your chance to attend the ridingest clinic of them all, taught by Hall of Fame and world champion horseman Craig Cameron, covering all aspects of horsemanship from beginning to winning. This is your opportunity to learn from the best, ride with the best, and be the best that you can be. Go to Craig Cameron or RideSmartHorsemanship.com for more information.